Marqos, chapter 8. In those days, the crowd being very great, and not having any to eat, Yahushua called his taught ones near, and said to them, I have compassion on the crowd, for they have now been with me 3 days, and do not have food to eat. And if I dismiss them unfed to their home, they shall faint on the way, for some of them have come from far. And his taught ones answered him, How shall anyone be able to feed these people with bread here in the desert? And he asked them, How many loaves do you have? And they said, 7. And he commanded the crowd to sit down on the ground. And taking the 7 loaves, giving thanks, he broke them and gave them to his taught ones to set before them. And they set them before the crowd, and they had a few small fishes. And having blessed, he said to set them also before them. And they ate and were satisfied, and they picked up 7 large baskets of broken pieces. And those eating were about 4,000, and he dismissed them. And immediately entering into the boat with his taught ones, he came to the parts of Dalmanutha. And the Pharisees came out and began to dispute with him, seeking from him a sign from heaven, trying him. And sighing deeply in his spirit, he said, Why does this generation seek a sign? Truly I say to you, no sign shall be given to this generation. And leaving them, again entering into the boat, he went away to the other side. And they had forgotten to take bread, and they did not have more than 1 loaf with them in the boat. And he was warning them, saying, Mind, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, and of the leaven of Herodes. And they were reasoning with one another, saying, Because we have no bread. And Yahushua, being aware of it, said to them, Why do you reason because you have no bread? Do you not yet perceive nor understand? Is your heart still hardened? Having eyes do you not see, and having ears do you not hear? And do you not remember? When I broke the 5 loaves for the 5,000, how many baskets filled with broken pieces did you pick up? They said to him, 12. And when I broke the 7 for the 4,000, how many large baskets filled with broken pieces did you pick up? And they said, 7. And he said to them, How do you not understand? And he came to Beit Saida, and they brought a blind man to him, and begged him to touch him. And taking the blind man by the hand, he led him out of the village. And having spit on his eyes, laying hands on him, he asked him, Do you see at all? And he looked up and said, I see men like trees, walking. Then he placed his hands on his eyes again, and made him look up. And he was restored, and saw all clearly. And he sent him away to his home, saying, Do not go into the village. And Yahushua and his taught ones went out to the villages of Caesarea Philippi. And on the way he asked his taught ones, saying to them, Who do men say I am? And they said to him, Yochanan the Immerser, and others Eliyahu, but others one of the prophets. And he asked them, And you, who do you say I am? And Kepha answering said to him, You are the Messiah. And he warned them that they should speak to no one about him. And he began to teach them that the Son of Adam has to suffer much, and be rejected by the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and after 3 days to rise again. And he was speaking about this openly. Then Kepha, taking him aside, began to rebuke him. And turning around and seeing his taught ones, he rebuked Kepha, saying, Get behind me, Satan, for your thoughts are not those of Elohim, but those of men. And calling near the crowd with his taught ones, he said to them, Whoever desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his stake and follow me. For whoever desires to save his life shall lose it, but whoever loses his life for the sake of me and the good news, he shall save it. For what shall it profit a man if he gains all the world and loses his own life? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his life? For whoever is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinning generation, of him the Son of Adam also shall be ashamed, when he comes in the esteem of his Father with the set-apart messengers.